Anybody who knows the history of Journey knows that the band was a kind of fusion of jazz and rock.
It was.
Until you came with them.
Yeah.
And they were having a difficult time before you came.
Yeah.
After you came, rocket ride straight up.
Well, they were such prolific musicians whose hearts were really set on being successful in the Mahavishnu Orchestra period of that type of success that was available for a lot of groups at that time. But for whatever reason, it didn't catch on for them. And I was told that they wanted to make a musical change by the manager and by Don Ellis, who was running Columbia Records on the West Coast here.
Well, I want to talk about some of the songs of Journey. Open Arms. Was this a change in direction for the band, a dramatic change in direction for the band?
I would say it was a big change because it was a ballad. It was a beautiful melodic song, but when it came time to recording the song, I think there was trepidations of doing that kind of music, that it might be a little too slow for a band that wants to rock. So we intentionally kind of met in the middle to try to make it bombastically big, which became a style of music called a power ballad later on, which I'm not saying we created, but we certainly had our part in it.
Well, I was just going to say, I, among others, would say, if you didn't create it, you helped create it. The whole idea of a power ballad.
Yeah.
We can't talk without talking about Don't Stop Believin'. Tell me how that started.
We were rehearsing in a warehouse in Oakland, California, where we would do all our rehearsing and writing. And just walked in there one day, and I told John Kane, I said, I want something with quarters on the pianos, because I've always liked certain songs that had a beginning with a quarter thing. Penny Lane has quarters on the piano. One by Three Dog Night had quarters on the piano. So I love that. Nielsen wrote that, but so I just loved quarters. And we never had a song with quarters on the piano. So he starts playing some changes and I start singing. And so that's how it just got launched into this whole thing. And then John Kane and I got together later and wrote the lyrics on it. I mean, it just was just another song like the rest of them that we believed in. And not to make a joke, but we did. And that one just has a life of its own.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street life, people.
Sometimes from the first time you sing a song, you begin to feel this is going to be something huge, this is going to be something big. At that moment, did you anticipate, do you have any idea of the terrific path this song would take?
Not one bit. I don't think anybody really has a crystal ball with that kind of insight on music. If you be honest with yourself, it's just you get fortunate and things become successful on their own fruition. And I think that people sort of vote with their hearts what something is or isn't into the future.
Well, it became even more in the public consciousness because it was used for the last scene in The Sopranos.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Or did you know they were going to do that?
Well, I have a story. This is a true story. Okay, I was the one of the three songwriters, myself, John, and Neil, we wrote the song together. I was the one that was holding out and approving that song, only because I did not want to see the whole family get whacked. There was rumors that the last segment was going to be a serious one.
Right.
You know, David Chase had the potential, let's put it that way. And so I just wanted to know, so what happens? But because it was the last one, it was all hush-hush and very tight. And I didn't say, from my own one-third songwriting approval side, I didn't say okay until I got some sort of qualification. How is it used? Thursday before it airs on Sunday night, I told my publisher, I said, I won't say yes unless you get a phone call from somebody in David Chase's office or David himself. And she said, okay, let me just call him back. So 4 o'clock, she calls me. She says, okay, you have to swear not to tell nobody. I said, I promise. because I can't say yes unless you tell me. She tells me how it ends. She tells me nobody gets whacked. She says he does the whole story with the cutting back and forth, this and that, and all. I got the whole thing. Did not tell me they went to black. They did not tell me that. But that's okay, because I, like the rest of the country, when it went to black, I went, what happened to my TV? You know. But it was really brilliant the way he cut it.